Jenna Bush Hager hasn't cried many tears since Hoda Kotb's Today departure. The TV personality made the confession while chatting about astrological signs with her guest host Matt Rogers on the Friday, August 8th episode of Today with Jenna and Friends. "I'm a Sagittarius. Does that make sense?" she asked Rogers, who replied, "I think so. I'm a Pisces Cancer, which means I could start sobbing at any second." Bush Hager noted that she cries all the time, stating, "I do it so often that it's just like laughing. They're like, oh, here Jenna goes again." However, Bush Hager revealed that she stopped crying so much after Kotb bid farewell to Today earlier this year. "My heart was kind of closed off." "Are you ready to open your heart again?" Rogers asked his co-host, after which they both started laughing. 10 years after she joined Today as a correspondent, Bush Hager took over Kathie Lee Gifford's hosting role on the fourth hour of Today, which was rebranded to Today with Hoda and Jenna. Bush Hager cried several tears on Today when Hoda Kotb announced her exit back in September 2024. "You're who I come to when I'm feeling joyful, when I'm feeling unsure. You are who I come to, and you believed in me first," she said at the time. "We have a lot of bosses, and I love them. But this lady, on October 28, 2013, I looked it up, said, 'Hey, want to come sit next to me? There's room.'" Hoda also got emotional, telling Bush Hager, "It's your turn, and whoever sits in this seat is going to have the easiest job in the world, because they'll be sitting next to you." Bush Hager cried again in a video message aired during Hoda's final Today episode on January 10, 2024. "Thank you, Hoda, for everything you have taught me, everything you've given me. All the hugs, all the heart, all the laughs, all the love. I will miss you, my friend, but I love you and I'm so proud. Love always and forever." Jenna Bush Hager nearly teared up during Friday's Jenna and Friends episode while gushing over Rogers, who co-hosted with her all week. "I feel like you're on the precipice of a major moment in your career. I really feel that way. You're so talented, you're so sparkly, you're so joyful, you're so effervescent, and the world needs your joy and your effervescence." Noticing her eyes well up, Roger said, "Are you gonna cry? Oh my God, don't be crying." Rogers is one of many famous faces to guest host Jenna and Friends with Bush Hager since Kotb's exit. Erin Andrews will return for her second week-long hosting gig on Monday,
Jenna Bush
August
Hager
11th.
walked into Studio 6A on the morning of August 8, 2025. She looked as put together as ever. Bright summer dress, warm smile, and that trademark mix of Southern charm and journalistic poise. But by the end of that Friday's Today with Jenna and Friends, her voice cracked ever so slightly. She wasn't in tears, not exactly, but the emotion was there, just beneath the surface. That morning's conversation with guest co-host Matt Rogers began innocently enough. They were chatting about astrology, of all things. Bush Hager asked him with a grin, "I'm a Sagittarius. Does that make sense?" Rogers, never one to miss a beat, laughed and replied, "I think so. I'm a Pisces Cancer, which means I could start sobbing at any second." Jenna chuckled, but then she admitted something she hadn't really put into words before. "I cry all the time. It's just like laughing for me. My friends and family will say, 'Oh, here Jenna goes again.' But then came the twist. I actually stopped crying so much," she continued, her tone softening. "It happened after Hoda left. My heart was kind of closed off." Hoda Kotb's exit from Today in September 2024 was the kind of seismic change that morning TV rarely sees. Viewers had grown accustomed to her steady warmth, her open laughter, and the easy chemistry she shared with Bush Hager. Their fourth-hour banter was part coffee clatch, part therapy session, part improv comedy, and millions tuned in not just for celebrity interviews or lifestyle tips, but for that genuine friendship on display. Kotb had been part of the NBC family since 1998, first as a Dateline NBC correspondent, later anchoring Today's fourth hour alongside Kathie Lee Gifford. When Gifford stepped down in 2019, Bush Hager, who'd been with the network for a decade as a correspondent and contributor, slid into the seat with an ease that belied how monumental the change was. At the time, Kotb had said she couldn't imagine doing the show with anyone else. "I've worked with so many greats, but Jenna brings this joy that's rare," she told People in 2019. "She makes the mornings brighter for me and for everyone watching," which made her farewell 5 years later all the more bittersweet. On September 18, 2024, Kotb stunned viewers when she announced her decision to leave the daily grind of Today. Rumors had swirled for weeks about potential new projects and her desire for more flexibility to spend time with her daughters, Haley and Hope. But until that morning, no one knew for sure. In front of a live studio audience and millions watching at home, she turned to Bush
when
Hager.
I'm feeling joyful, when I'm feeling unsure, Kotb said, her voice trembling. "You believed in me first. We have a lot of bosses, and I love them. But on October 28, 2013, I looked it up. You said, 'Hey, want to come sit next to me? There's room.'" Bush Hager, eyes glistening, responded through tears. "You are my person, Hoda. You're my safe space. You're my cheerleader. And you have given me a gift that I will carry for the rest of my life." That day, the cameras caught more than just two colleagues bidding farewell. It was a moment of real friendship on live television, the kind that doesn't come around often. In the weeks that followed, Bush Hager kept the show moving forward. NBC rebranded the program as Today with Jenna and Friends, leaning into her adaptability and her ability to connect with a rotating lineup of guest hosts. But privately, she admits something shifted. "I just didn't let myself feel as much," she said on August 8th. "I guess my heart was a little closed off. Not because I didn't love what I was doing, but because it hurt." Friends say Bush Hager has always been an emotional person. "She's incredibly empathetic," says one longtime Today producer. "She can be in the middle of hair and makeup, hear a story about someone's kid starting kindergarten, and she'll tear up instantly. But after Hoda left, she seemed more guarded. It wasn't that she was less kind or less fun, just a little more careful with her feelings." The bond between Kotb and Bush Hager had been forged over years of early mornings, on-air bloopers, heartfelt interviews, and spontaneous moments that became viral clips. They danced with Today Show fans in the plaza, swapped embarrassing parenting stories, and weren't afraid to address serious topics like grief, infertility, and political division. Bush Hager often described Kotb as her work wife and credited her with making her feel at home on national television. "She taught me that you can be both professional and vulnerable," Bush Hager told Variety in 2023, "that you can bring your full self to the table, laughter, tears, flaws, and all." Kotb's last Today episode aired on January 10, 2025. It was, in true Hoda fashion, a blend of heartfelt and hopeful. There were celebrity tributes, surprise appearances, and a touching video montage chronicling her career. But the most poignant moment came from Bush Hager's pre-taped message. "Thank you, Hoda, for everything you have taught me, everything you've given me, all the hugs, all the heart, all the laughs, all the love. I will miss you, my friend, but I love you, and I'm so proud." Kotb, visibly moved, hugged her co-host tightly at the end of the broadcast. "It's your turn," she whispered, "and whoever sits in this seat will have the easiest job in the world, because they'll be sitting next to you." Since January, Bush Hager has been joined by a steady rotation of co-hosts. Some are familiar faces, like Erin Andrews, who is set to return for her second week-long stint on August 11th. Others, like Matt Rogers, bring a fresh energy that pushes Bush Hager in new creative directions. "You're so talented," she told Rogers on August 8th, nearly tearing up again. "You're so sparkly, you're so joyful, you're so effervescent, and the world needs your joy and your effervescence." Rogers laughed and asked, "Are you going to cry?" To which Bush Hager responded with a playful, "Oh my God, don't make me cry." The astrology conversation that morning may have been lighthearted, but it led to a deeper realization for Bush Hager that resonated with viewers who had followed the Kotb-Bush Hager partnership for years. "Am I ready to open my heart again?" she repeated after Rogers asked the question. "I think so. I really do. It just takes time." Her willingness to be candid about her emotions is part of what has made her such a relatable figure to Today fans. She doesn't shy away from acknowledging that change, even positive change, can be bittersweet. Social media lit up after her admission. "Jenna saying her heart was closed off after Hoda left broke me," one fan tweeted. Another wrote, "I miss Hoda and Jenna together, but Jenna has done such a beautiful job keeping the show warm and heartfelt." NBC executives have noted that ratings for Today with Jenna and Friends have remained strong, with particular growth among younger viewers, a testament to Hager's ability to bridge generations and adapt without losing her authenticity. Meanwhile, Kotb has been busy with new projects, including a forthcoming podcast series and a book about resilience. She's made occasional appearances on Today as a guest, keeping her connection to the audience alive. "I'll always cheer for Jenna," she told Entertainment Tonight earlier this summer. "She's a sister to me." Hager has now been with Today for more than 12 years, longer than many primetime television shows last. She's weathered leadership changes, breaking news cycles, and the unique pressures of morning TV. But she says Kotb's departure taught her one of the most important lessons of her career. "It reminded me that nothing stays the same forever, and that's okay. Friendships evolve, shows evolve, life evolves, but the love you build doesn't go away." As she looks toward the rest of 2025, Hager is optimistic. She has new hosting partnerships to explore, special segments in development, and a continuing role as one of NBC's most recognizable faces. And yes, she's letting her heart open up again. "I think the tears will come back," she told Rogers with a laugh, "probably sooner than later."